Who do you trust to be in the room with you during your labor dispute? I'm Rob Relieder. I'm founder of Western Protection Alliance here in Vancouver. And today I want to talk about the Strike Command Center and who needs to be in the room. It's super important that you surround yourself with experts when it comes to helping you weather a labor dispute storm. And the smartest people in the room may not be the most educated labor dispute people in the room. So today I want to talk about how you can develop the right mix to help you win that potential dispute. So firstly, you need to look at your decision authority, your decision makers that are going to comprise that team that you're assembling. And the decision maker, it's important that it may be yourself as an employer, it may be someone else that has that decision authority, but they need to be a decision maker. And like any organization, you're building a team that can be flexible and responsive and can make immediate decisions. You're not developing a committee that is paralyzed by indecision. That's a worst case scenario for assembling a labor dispute team. So bear that in mind. That decision maker has to have the overall authority for that strike command center, and they need to be that person that can make those decisions quickly. So they need to then have leadership in the organization, visibility. They should be someone from your organization. If you as an employer are facing a strike or a lockout, they shouldn't be, for example, an outsider. They should be somebody that people know, your staff, management knows, the picketers know, that sort of thing. And they need to have the ability to get and garner clear and quick approvals, and that they can escalate very quickly decisions and getting things out. And we've always appreciated as a vendor that they have overall responsibility when it comes to financial and decisions and operating within that company's umbrella. Number two, we think that having legal representation is critical for that strike command center. And I don't mean physical, that you need an actual strike command center and have these people with you on a daily basis. We're talking to have them in your room, to have them in your corner, people that you're talking to on a daily basis during a labor dispute, but they don't have to physically be with you. And that's a bit of a misnomer too. But a good seasoned labor lawyer with experience in your industry that obviously you're using, if not your negotiations, for strategy and advising you during your labor dispute when it comes to injunctive relief and all these different measures. So they need to be part of that team, and they need to provide you with updates when it comes to the processes that you're going through, or maybe recommend processes when it comes to a legal perspective. They are also going to tell you what evidence needs you're going to require as an employer and what they like to see, because that's different from your strike security, but they again should work in tandem. And they also need to give you a risk review. They should reduce your risk, the lawyer that you have in your strike command center, and you need to use them accordingly. So they need to be part of that strike command center, that strike team that you're assembling. Number three is operations. So you need clear operations control within your strike team. And that person can also be that decision maker that I alluded to earlier, somebody with that operational know-how when it comes to customer relationships and customer plans, contractor management, contractor routes, deliveries, access priorities. All these things are going to be critical for winning that dispute and to getting product in and out of the facility. So senior operations person is going to be critical. And like I said, you could make that person the same as a senior decision maker if you need to, but certainly an operations person and someone that buys in. And we need to understand that all these people need to buy in. You need to have your strike strategy in place. There needs to be buy-in from this group so you can act quickly. So quick decisions are going to be super important during a labor dispute and for the success or failure of your company. So in that operations person shouldn't be scared to, for example, to move product across the picket line or to have some semblance of operations. You're still in business and you need to act like it. So that's going to be important that you have that support from that operations person in your strike command center. And they need to know all the logistics and potential failure points as an organization and to move product in and out of the facility, even if you're not operating, because again, that'll create evidence, which we've talked about in previous videos. The last critical piece that should be in your strike team is your strike security. If it's not your strike security contractor, then it's a strike security consultant. But someone with intimate know-how on a labor dispute, on how to create incident logs, evidence collection, daily briefing, site intelligence, that is going to be a critical piece to your strike command center and help augment the rest of your team. And they'll work and should work very closely with your labor lawyer, who's part of that strike command center, in hopefully achieving your aims and in garnering injunctive relief and hopefully to weather that labor dispute storm. So last year in Canada, in 2025, the average duration was 29 days of labor unrest, work stoppage. So that's basically a month. So if you think about that and put that in perspective, you have a month of decisions that in the absence of a team like this, that you're going to have to make on your own. And you're not a strike expert. You're probably an expert in your field, making widgets or whatever you're doing. And so there's a month of decisions that need to be made on average in a work stoppage. You need to have that team in place. And again, that decision maker, the labor lawyer, the operations lead, and then your strike security. So hopefully today that helped you understand why the need for a strike command center and why it's important for you in a labor dispute. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below or reach out to me at releader@westernalliance.ca or at 604-271-7475. Thank you.